You know, like, one thing I'm really sad about, actually, is
What?
that, and I want to watch, but, like, I can just never get myself to watch it, is, Clanad, when Clanad Apple Store, I guess.
It's the art, huh?
It's the art. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Josei Junkies, an anime podcast where we talk about anything and everything. I'm Iso.
And I'm Kane. So, Iso, have you watched Chainsaw Man recently?
Yeah.
Are you caught up?
Yeah. There should be 2 episodes out right now.
Bro, I was so hyped when
It
it
was
came
as
out.
good. It was as good as I thought it'd be. I'm so happy.
Dude, Mappa is fucking god, dude. It's freaking crazy. I was just so shocked at the level of animation. I hope it's consistent throughout every episode and it's not just the first one, you know?
Yeah.
How sometimes the first one is like so good to draw you in.
Dude, that's what I was scared of, but the second episode was pretty good too, so I have high hopes. And Mappa has a pretty good reputation throughout their stuff of kind of keeping it up, more or less.
Yeah.
So, dude, the intro though was so wild. Did you see all the like movie references they put in there?
I didn't hear that. I guess I didn't look into it. What was it about?
I can send you it later, but it was like there's a lot of like classical films, like I want to say it was like Pulp Fiction and handful of other ones where they basically like made very, I don't want to say they're like famous scenes. Some of them I guess are more notable than others, but like I feel like you have to be an avid film watcher, and the guy who I forget his name, but the one who decided to do it for Chainsaw Man, you can tell like he really knew about these films to put them in the opening and like make them, basically made all the characters do the things that the people in the film do, like the same poses or the same like compositions, but with the Chainsaw Man characters.
Bro, I just noticed in the fighting scenes, they're using like almost like VTuber style, where it's like half animated, but then like 2D.
You mean like the 3D animation?
It's like 3D animation, but it's still flat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they did
Similar
that.
to how they did The Land of the Luscious or Hoseki no Kuni.
Yeah. I think they did it pretty well. I still noticed it. I usually am like not a huge fan of it, but I think they integrated it pretty well for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
so I was pretty happy.
I think
with
so
it.
too. I wasn't too distracted by the 3D animation. And I think it makes the fight scene a lot more interesting and more dynamic, because I remember when I was reading that in the manga, I was like really confused about everything because it was just so dark and bloody. And you know how like the manga is, it's like hard to follow, just like Attack on Titan. But once animated, you're like, oh, that's what they were doing. I was so confused.
Yeah. That's why I don't really read shonen manga, because I always get so confused. So I really prefer watching it. You know what? One of my favorite things about it though is the way they use light and like the light dust particles. It just it adds so much to every scene. Like I don't even know how to explain it in words and why it does, but like the lighting and just that small detail just makes it so much more high quality and just I don't even know how to put in words how I feel.
Bro, Mappa's really stepping it up, because that was what UFO Table was like. UFO? I forgot. UFO Table?
UFO? That's what I said.
Yeah. That's what they were really famous for the longest time, doing really good backgrounds and the light and the dust and everything, the attention to detail. And so like Mappa's really stepping up to that level, because I feel like they really set the anime standard for the longest time.
Dude, you know what's
the
really
highest quality.
Funny about that is like as soon as I saw the light, it's so bad, but man, the first thing it reminded me of was that one like trailer that was going around recently that was like basically that super high quality hentai.
I knew exactly which one. Like the moment you said that, but I was like, maybe it's not one of the.
No, the one with the really long title, like I went to another world and like fell in love with the killer or whatever, assassin.
My savior is a serial killer.
Yeah, something like that. It was so high quality, and you were like,
it's so hype. It's so freaking pretty. It's everything we wanted. Like if that was a full-on hentai, that's like the highest quality.
That
hentai
was like
I've ever
made
seen
for
in my
like
life.
women. That was such a made for women hentai. I was like, this exists?
That is exactly what the female gaze is. It's not so much like direct, like banging and like, you know, all that stuff. It's just like the lighting, the mood, you know, just like the feel of
When
things.
you say banging, I was thinking of like banging the pots and pans, like.
Obviously, that's not where our mind goes immediately. That's exactly tells you.
But yeah, I mean, I read that manga in the end. It was not good. It was really messed up, and
yo, it's so trashy.
it was honestly so trashy.
It was so trashy. It's such a shame because the art is so good and they even made such a beautiful PV from it, but honestly, it's so
It
trashy.
is what it is. The PV was good, okay? I'll take my wins, okay? Gotta take the W's where you got them, all right?
Dude,
We
honestly,
don't
I
got
me
much.
too. Even if I don't like it and I don't agree with it, I'm still happy that there's content. There's
Yeah. It's a
something for
start.
us, you know? It just made me like, "Oh, wow. We get representation too." Like, that's so nice.
Dude, isn't it nice that like we've started to get stuff more like female gazy for like the H stuff? Cause like have you seen all those shorts they've been? I don't want to call them shorts, but like they're like 5 minutes ish, probably a little less per long per episode, and they're like all the like female like
I know what you're
romance,
talking about.
H stuff. I don't know why they
Mhm.
do it in this format, but yeah, it's been coming out the past few years, and I was like, why the sudden surge? This is definitely not for guys.
Recently, it's honestly like so crazy how there's a you know what it is? They finally understand there's money. Like women have money. Let's Japan is just so behind on it, but they finally realize, oh, working women in Japan have money. Let's, try to make things that target them. And then we're like, hello, we've been wanting this for years. Thank you so much for it, but like,
Finally
hello,
listening. But then, like, even
finally
then, they came out
listening.
with the trashy, like, the worst one. I think the first one I remember seeing was, like, that one with the monk with
Was
the
it the
bald
priest?
head.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god,
was like, why
yes.
this one? Why would
That
you
was
get, like, the
so
worst
unfair.
guy?
That was the first one we got, really, guys? Come on. Like, honestly, I was like, there's so many other ones out there. Like, even the prison one
The
should
prison
have
one
been
was the second
first,
one I
I
saw. The
think.
prison one was much better. I'll give them that.
Dude, the art was really good, and the
Yeah.
plot was not as bad.
I think that
as
one's
the
still
other one.
ongoing. Like, I see it when I'm, like, looking for manga to read. I feel like I see it pop up pretty
I
still.
think it's still ongoing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know
in the
how
100
they've
chapters
created
now.
it.
I was just like, what is the plot still? Like, what do they have going? I remember it was like she was in prison,
I
and then
think they're
that
on a boat now.
I think on a boat now because last I saw she had that second side guy who was in the prison protecting her.
Yeah.
But then
Dude, he's
like,
hot.
no, what
He's
happened?
hot. And he's
Like they
got
were gonna
tattoos.
escape, and then like the truck fell over, and then
Oh.
I don't even remember. And then there was something to do with his mom, like being why he hated her so much. I don't even
Hmm.
remember. I stopped reading, but I was like, this is some wild shit.
Yeah, but honestly, why did we get a hot monk? Like, we couldn't even get a beautiful man with hair. Like, honestly, it took
Why did they
years.
have to give us the bows head? Like, why did he have to be bald? I don't understand.
I think maybe it's because it attracted attention. So maybe now everyone's like, oh, okay, well, now they're curious because they're like, what is going
Bro,
on?
is this One
You
Punch
know?
Man? Is that why they're like, what? Is this
Oh
Saitama? Man, I
my
gotta check it,
god.
man. There are no other bald men in
Sexy
anime. Must
Saitama.
be.
Like, I hate, like, can we just talk about the ugly bastard trope? Because I hate it.
Oh.
Like, it's so unfair. Like, okay, you don't like guys, that's fine. But why are you gonna make them ugly?
Like, I don't understand that genre. Like, I mean, I guess I don't understand the people who like it. Like, I want to know why they like it. Do they imagine themselves as ugly, and that's why like ugly guys can get with hot girls, or ugly guys can like
Hmm.
make girls submissive and among other things that are not okay? It's like, is that the mentality, or like what about it makes people want to watch it?
I wish there would be someone to tell us because I honestly don't understand it either. It's like if I were to watch like the female version, right? Like and I watch like TL or like hentai,
Mm.
Josei smut, I would want the girl to be pretty.
Me
Like I
too.
would
You want
want
a
her
hot
to be
girl.
like, yeah, like it's like I like to like it just aesthetically. You just want to look at good looking people. It
I mean,
doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't, right?
it's literally
Like
like K dramas. Like I will literally look for K dramas or even animes, but just like be like, are the people in it good looking? Because like
people in general, or is it?
that's why I'm
I don't
watching
know.
it. If I'm gonna spend my time to watch something, I want to watch good looking people.
Yeah. And like if a girl is okay, like especially we're talking about drama, but she's a great actress, I'm like, oh, I'm sold immediately, you know?
Yeah.
But like, why would you want less then? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what was the reason?
That actually reminds me. I was watching this video between these two artists. Was it like Sam does art and like Cooling? They have like these roast videos on YouTube where they kind of like roast each other's art. And like one of them, she was just people like watching pretty people. Like people, it's like she was like tips on how to like was it gain clout or like draw better. And she's like draw pretty people. Like people only like pretty people. Like it's true. We like aesthetic people. We don't draw like you don't see them drawing ugly people. Like as much as you want to say like, oh, all like you're beautiful no matter how you look. Like in the end, people want to consume beautiful art, beautiful things.
Do you think it's similar to how we don't always enjoy watching like morally right characters and we like to see like the darker side of characters, so then it's like more interesting in exploring that side? Do you think it's something like that? I'm trying to understand their perspective, honestly.
Whose perspective, for like the artist or the ugly bastard thing?
The ugly bastard, like, you know how we're like, okay, I love my morally right characters and I like characters I can look up and idolize, but I also like watching characters that are really fucked up
I don't know,
because
because
like it's interesting
I
to
almost want to
understand their
say
psychology. So,
I almost want to say then wouldn't they make like an ugly bastard with a good personality, or when they I mean they do the good, because they already have like the hot guys who are really messed up in like H stuff. Like they definitely have like, wow, he is not, that is a red flag. He is
mm,
not okay, but he's good looking. But for ugly bastard, they're always just like assholes. There's nothing good about them. They're never like a good person either. They're always just like trash,
mm,
and not in a good
I don't know.
way.
Someone in the comment, please let us know. I'm really genuinely really curious
Yeah,
about why and why this is a thing.
it's never a perspective I've actually heard. So yeah, let us know.
Wait, so
Yeah.
what were you talking about? How did we get
Oh, because we were talking about Chainsaw Man that came out, and then we got to like the that one PV because it looked really similar in animation,
Oh
and
my
then we
god.
ended up down that
Dude,
road.
honestly though, the way it's drawn and like the opening especially looks so female gaze. Like it's so pretty, like the views and like the drawing and like,
Dude, I just love
just
everyone.
the
Like
mood.
everyone in this
Like
anime
it's
can step on
mood.
me. Everyone in this anime can step on me. Like I love them all.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I like a lot of main shonen protagonists, but like Denji, he's okay. He just doesn't like
No,
particularly like stand out to me.
okay, disclaimer is like we both only watched anime. We haven't read the manga, right? Like 'cause I haven't read the
Oh,
manga.
I've read the manga.
Okay, I haven't read the manga, so I'm only going off the anime from the 2 episodes I've seen. But well, I saw like I really like his type of character because it's like really innocent. Like I know he goes and says the thing where it's like, "Oh my god, boobs! Oh my god, I just want to bang a girl." But like, I think intent is very important, and where he comes from of having like nothing, he just it's more of like he wants the simple things in life, right? The things that like anyone could have, and he just doesn't because he's so poor and so in debt, and like he was burdened with all this stuff that wasn't even his issue to begin with. Like he inherited it, not of his own
So you're telling
volition.
me you like the himbos?
I do like the himbos, but like he's so wholesome. Like it's not like he's being an asshole about it either. It's not like he's forcing anyone, right? He's not coercing.
I
He's just
see.
like, this is just what I want, but it's not like he's like saying you have to give it to me mentality, you
I
know?
see.
Where it's like
Yeah.
he's so happy just to be like pat in the head or to get like some food. He's like, remember like he orders like the udon. He's like, can I get like a hot dog too? And she's like, yeah. He's so happy about it, and it's like, it's not like he was like, I'm just gonna order it either. It he's so wholesome. He just wants head pats, and he wakes up and he's like, this girl treated me with some semblance of just like treating me like a human. Like I'm into it, but he's not like saying like he's chasing her, but he's not chasing her, if you know what I mean. Like, have you ever had like people where you're like, desperation truly smells. Like when people are desperate is not a good look. But I don't
No,
feel
I
like
feel you.
he's desperate. Like he is, but I wouldn't put him in that like box of like considering like, yeah, you're a desperate dude.
I see. I think of it like because I like what is it? Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen because he's also a himbo, but
Mm.
his main thing is just he's just a prankster and he like jokes around with Gojo and like he cares for his friends and families and stuff. Like the normal shonen protag like stereotype. But the thing with Denji is just he has the extra layer of just like I want to fuck this bitch. That I'm just like, your core motivation is so strange. I can't understand you. It's fine if like, yeah, I just want to kill devils because it's messed up. It's like, no, I'm gonna do all of this and be her dog because I want her to be my girlfriend. It's just so dumb to me.
But I
The
love that.
motivation. I think that's the part. I
Well,
don't
I
think
think
he's a
it's like,
bad character. It's just I'm just like your core motivation. That's dumb.
I don't think that's his core. It's just one of them because like he was already a dog before. Remember, like literally he ate that
Hmm.
cig. Well, he didn't actually, but like he's like, yeah, give me
Yeah.
100 yen and I'll eat the cigarette. Like, he was already a dog before, and that was the whole thing the dude before is like, he's good because he's
Now
loyal.
he's just tamed.
Yeah, he's tamed and he's loyal, which is literally like why we love dogs, or like one of the reasons, right? Because they just like without reason will love you and be loyal to you. Like, they don't know anything else. It doesn't matter how much of a shit person you are. They don't really think of you. They just think you're like, well, this is
That's
my
terrible
human.
too.
But
That's
it's
so
true. Like, you know, there's
sad.
bad guys. Like, the bad guys, like, if they had a pet dog, it's not like their dog turns on them. Like, if they raise the dog, because the dog, all the dog knows is like, this person has been good to me, and that's what they know. That's why there's like that mutual love. But anyways, for him, like, I think it's really wholesome because like his love, I don't know, it's like I said, it's kind of innocent in a way where it's he never really had like familial love either. He didn't have any kind. So I don't know if he's mixing that up either too. He just wants someone to care, you know? And like he hasn't really been taught of either like what is love, you know, the way he grew up. He didn't have anything. So maybe he doesn't even know what kind of love he has. He's just seen what socially there is. Like, remember he keeps like looking at all these porn mags, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because that's what society tells you love is. Like, look, these women are hot, and like love is like getting with a woman. But like he's never had like human relationships with anyone. He doesn't really have any friends other than Pochita. So it's like, how does yeah,
So cute.
his heart.
So sad. It's like it was so wholesome, their friendship, and like I can't believe it. Within the first episode, broke my heart.
Dude, I literally cried the first episode. This is
I
not.
cried too.
I've just been going to anime now with like literally zero expectations. I try not to look up anything because I feel like it hits a lot different, and I get a lot more out of it when I just go in completely blind.
Mm.
Yeah. He literally became his heart.
He's like, show me your dreams. That one part was so wholesome.
Dude,
So maybe he just wants him to be happy, you know, and
that's
like
what I
be like,
think it
oh,
is. That's
living your life to the fullest.
Or can it be like that meme I sent you?
Yeah.
Pochi had a deep voice.
So good. Dude, all of a sudden she's like, I don't even remember what it said. I just remember cracking up.
Pochi had a really deep voice and said some very adult things.
Maybe we can add it to the comment section,
Yeah.
so then people can watch that meme too, because it's such a good meme.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me, like in Spy X Fam too, the dog episode. I was like, that's so sad. What you were talking about dogs?
Dude, he's such a big. As soon as I saw it, like I'm like, this is gonna be the dog they adopt. He's the big bear, really happy.
It looks like a polar bear, dude.
Yeah. Dude, he's wholesome. That whole episode was just like, you better not fucking kill a dog right here. Like, as soon as they said they were gonna blow up dogs, I'm like, don't you fucking dare. This is Spy X Fam. You don't fucking no. That don't happen.
I know. Even when the dad, he was just like, oh, I'll come back and get you later. I'm like, thank goodness they added those. I feel like people would be very upset.
Dude,
if like when he trapped the dog, he was like, I'll come back for you.
Dude, people always be out like, if you kill off a human, okay, kill off a dog. What the fuck you do? They'd be out like, how could you? How could you do that? Like, how?
Cats too. Animals in general, I think. People are like, what the heck?
I remember that was like the biggest thing when it was the one with Will Smith, Legend. I can't remember the name. Something Legend. I Am Legend, I think it was. And then like there's this whole emotional like dog dying scene. Oh my god. I remember being so mad at my friend too because they just laughed, and we watched it in theaters and they just laughed the whole time because they said
that's so rude.
No, you know, when I asked them why, they said it was because Will Smith looked constipated while the dog was dying, and I'm like, I can't with you.
You could see it?
Huh?
Could you see it? Is that why?
I mean, I get what he means, but like that's not what I'm thinking of when I look at it. That's not my thought. He was like in pain because he had to like kill his own dog.
That's true. So sad.
Not straining because of number two. He's straining because he's trying to hold back his emotions from his lifelong friend dying. Oh, not lifelong, but like in this apocalypse of a world that he's only had this dog who isn't a zombie vampire thing. Yes.
That's so sad. Did you watch any other anime?
I watched. Let me see. I had like a few I've been watching. I mean, I watched Spy Family and I watched Chainsaw Man, of course. I watched that Akuyaku one. It's a villainous.
That was meh.
It's pretty meh. The villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. I mean, I wasn't expecting much from it because in general, like the villainous genre is kind of like hit or miss, mostly miss lately. I haven't seen a lot of good ones. Bleach?
I'm just so mad. There's so many good ones out there, but the ones that they choose to adapt, it's just so weird to me.
Yeah,
Like
I noticed that. I don't understand
who does make
why.
these decisions? Because there's so many good ones out there. Why would you choose these ones?
Like, is it
I
the
just feel
old
like
men?
whatever sold, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're just basing it on the numbers of what manga is being sold in Japan, and they're like, okay, well that one sold well, so
It
let's
could
just get.
be. I know a lot of times it's based off like the Japanese numbers, and the Japanese numbers do tend. I mean, a lot of times the Japanese numbers do differ from like the global market on what's
Hmm.
popular, which makes sense, but it's kind of sad with how global anime has become. You'd think they'd look more at like what they can really make money on.
I mean, I guess it's good that they still base it, but even in Japan, I don't even think it's that good compared to all the other one. The fan base wise,
Mm,
like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like they probably just did animated whatever they could get from the author. Like it's like this is a good profitable cut for them,
mm,
so they'll
mm,
animate this. Like the
mm,
author might not make as much
mm.
but that at least they were willing to sign the deals,
Damn, that's fucked up.
right? That's like I don't know. Maybe that's just my theory though,
I could see
because
that
it doesn't
though.
make sense other ways.
I could see that though. Wait, did you say you watched Bleach? You watched Bleach, right?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
How did you think of it?
I think animation was good. It wasn't like as good as I wanted to. It was only good at like the few scenes where they bankai and everything.
Mm.
But like, yeah, it was okay. Voice acting was okay. It's just mid. I don't think it was like particular like, oh my god, or it wasn't very like terrible.
I think it was like for me, I was really hyped for it. Like I think it was really good,
I was pretty
but
hyped too.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure part of it is nostalgia, but like I feel like it went by very fast. Like they put all this stuff into an episode, and maybe it'd make more sense if I was like watching Bleach like from where they left off in the anime. Maybe, but even then I
Hmm.
feel like they just kind of rushed everything into one episode and it felt like they put too much at once.
Yeah, there's not enough introduction, especially for fans who
Yeah.
are not caught up, or
Yeah.
if they want to bring in new fans. But maybe they're just doing it for the old fans,
But
who
even
have been
then,
caught
like
up.
I'm an old fan and I felt like it was like I felt like they I mean it's been like a decade, right? I
It's
feel
been
like
a long time.
they should have given like a little more, lean in, like a little more like chance to remember like who cuz Bleach has like literally at least like 100 characters, right? I feel like
So
there's
many characters.
yeah, it's like kind of give me some time to like remember who's who.
Hmm.
I was in here sitting like, who is this? Who is this? Like looking up. I'm like, I remember how they look, but I don't remember everything about them. So kind of wish they gave a little bit more for that. Like it would have helped with the pacing. I mean, not that it was bad or anything, but I think it could have been better. I watched the second episode too. I think the second episode was out, right? Yeah.
I haven't caught up with that one yet.
Hmm.
But first episode was okay. It made me like want to go back and review all of the material
Same.
because there's so much information that like I'm thrown off, and I'm just like, wait, where are we at right now?
I was like, maybe this is a sign I should actually read the manga, but then I was also like, oh my god, it's gonna take so much time.
So much
And it's also
time.
shonen. That's really hard for me to
Yeah,
read.
I know. Shonen manga is just. I think it goes faster, but I don't know. I don't get the full effect of it
I don't
unless
get
I
the
watch
full
the
effect,
anime.
but I feel like I also get confused, and then I spend time trying to figure out what's going on. And then with Bleach, I mean, at least since I've watched the anime, I might have a better idea. But I feel like since it's been so long, I still might misunderstand. All I'm excited for, honestly, is for them to animate Hitsugaya as an adult because now it's okay.
Ooh,
It's
I
legal.
know. Mm-hmm,
I've been waiting
mm-hmm.
for this ever since I saw the manga. I was like, wait, this is real. This is canon. Oh my god! And then when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, oh my god, my dreams have come true. This is happening. This is real.
Dude, in the era of shonen and like back then, like Kubo really did us a good solid for making hot ass anime dudes. to simp for, because back then there weren't that many, you know?
Yeah.
If there were, it was just like very, very few in
I
each
mean, back
series.
then he was our age too. Like it was like that was okay.
Hmm.
Also,
So it's
remember
just like, thank you so much for all of the.
dude, actually I think they were older than us because like Bleach was in high school, like the main cast, not
Oh,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Isn't that so weird to think about?
Yeah. Oh
Now
my
I'm
god,
just
it's been
like,
so long. It's hilarious.
yeah, so excited to see where Bleach goes because I was very disappointed where it ended with the full bring stuff before. I was like, this is getting weird, and then they randomly ended it. And I know I heard the manga ends weird, but I'm hoping this is still good. Crossing my fingers.
Why did the manga end weird? Was it because the author was canceled, or they just stopped serializing
I
his work?
haven't gotten through a full video. There's like a couple videos on YouTube I know that are like 20 minutes long of like the downfall of Bleach and what happened. But I forget exactly why, but I do know that Shonen Jump kind of just started phasing it out and was kind of rushing Kubo to finish it. Like, and you'd notice like, so the cover of Shonen Jump a lot of times has like the main big ones. Like it used to have like the big three, like One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like the biggest pictures of them on the cover. And then as Bleach started getting smaller, you'd notice it like got smaller and smaller on the cover until it kind of just faded out. And they were like rushing Kubo to finish, and the quality just went down. And then you could tell it kind of just like ended randomly because they kind of forced him to finish it.
Yeah, I heard they force him like, okay, he should have to finish it in 5 chapters,
Yeah,
and he was like in the middle of everything.
yeah. So I haven't actually read it or finished it, I guess per se either. So I can't comment completely, but that's like what I've generally seen said happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then there's also I don't think you watched Blue Lock. Blue Lock was one I didn't know about.
What is Blue?
It's a soccer anime. So it's like a sports anime, but it's like
Oh,
not a sports anime. But I don't really want to spoil more than that. But it's like not about friendship, put it that way. So far.
what?
Because you know
Oh,
sports
it's like
anime,
rivalry.
I don't want to spoil it, but like you should watch it, but it's don't go it's not like a friendship anime. I wouldn't, because you know usually sports anime is like all about friendship and the friends you make along the way
Oh,
kind of
that's the
thing.
best part.
Yeah, I love that about, but this is like, I'm gonna see how it goes because right now like characters irk me, but I almost want to say that's a good reason to keep watching it too, because like that means they bother me enough to be different, you know? Like
Mm,
it's kind of good that I don't like them because that means there could be more to them, you know?
I see. I see.
Yeah.
I hope so. I wanted more sports anime like Haikyuu, because I feel like they did the formula so well.
Yeah, it's definitely not a haiku. Not a
Mm,
haiku, but I love haiku. But this takes a different spin on things. So if you want something different, I'd recommend it. Yeah. And then there were so many animes that I wasn't even thinking about. I was just like, because I hadn't been watching anime for so long, and I was like, oh, this season is finally pretty loaded with stuff that might be pretty good. So I was like,
mhm.
I didn't even know that Boku no Hero came back. Or
Oh
that Golden
yeah,
Kamuy
that's
came
true.
back. Yeah. It was pretty good. I don't know if you watched it, but I've been kind of falling out of Boku no Hero, and I was like, it's not that great, but this season looks more promising. I'm hoping it stays that way.
I see. I think I stopped after the 80 arc, because I just kind of binged the whole thing, and I was just like, okay, well, it's just the formula. It's like whatever.
The
I'll
80?
binge it when like 80? Isn't her name 80? The little girl arc?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
That
Yeah, yeah. The one
yeah,
with the horn.
the horn.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was just waiting to it. But so far it's just I'm pretty excited for Chainsaw Man. Just because it's Mappa. And then next year especially. Oh my god, it's almost the end of the year, but next year, Jujutsu Kaisen
Oh
season
my
2. There's like
gosh.
next year is gonna be crazy packed with like it's gonna be a crazy year.
Oh,
There's
you
so many
reminded me, I
good
still
stuff
need to
coming
watch
out.
the movie. They have it on
You
Crunchyroll now,
need
I
to watch
think.
the movie. It's
Yeah, I know.
so good. I think I've rewatched. I think it's on Crunchyroll now, but
Yeah, I think they just released it on
I've
Crunchyroll.
rewatched it like so many times.
Guess it's time.
Maybe
Oh my
we can
gosh.
watch it together.
You're like, this is my 10th watch through. Let me scream while I'm just like, what's going on?
No, because honestly, the whole time we'll be like, Oh my god, he's so hot. That's like the most of
I
it.
mean, that's gonna be like the opposite of like when we watched Violet Evergarden together and we were all just crying.
Oh my god. I love Violet Evergarden. Always Violet Evergarden episode 10. That's what I always recommend to everyone. You
What's
don't have to
even 10?
understand anything. Just watch that episode. And
No,
that's
man,
how you get into anime.
we went to like we went out friends and then we're all okay, we're gonna watch the Violet Evergarden movie and then there's just like all of us as adults like freaking old on the couch all just crying like in silence.
Oh, you mean that one cabin trip that we went to?
Yeah, and we're all just like crying.
That was so magical. That's exactly what I wanted. Just a group of weeby anime friends in the middle of nowhere just like come together to watch anime
In
together.
pain.
It's so fun. Like, yeah, and then I turn around, everyone's just crying.
We're just
Quietly
like no
crying.
tears and just like bring out the tissues like here's one for you. Here's one for you.
I need to go rewatch that movie because I feel like there's so many parts I miss because we were like so distracted too.
I was
I like
rewatching it. I
talking.
rewatched the ending a few times. I've seen the clip go around, so I ended up rewatching it.
Oh, it went around.
Like someone like reputs it on Twitter or something, and I just ended up rewatching it because I was like, oh, the feels, and then rewatched it with the water and the ending. Because y'all knew if that didn't end that way, you was about to someone about to catch some hands.
Oh my god, I was so mad throughout most of it.
Dude, we all were. We're like, if this dude don't get his shit
You
together,
don't turn. I'm gonna kill somebody. I was so mad throughout the whole thing because I feel like we were almost like her, where we like idolized him and like he was such a good character. And then okay, anyways, no spoilers, but yeah, and then all of a sudden he was just like,
I mean,
no.
that's kind of a spoiler at this point because that was the big thing.
Okay, you're right. Anyways, I'm happy for them. And then like all the promotional videos, I mean all the promotional art of them together. Have you seen it?
I think so. I don't know which one you're referring to in specific, but like it has all really.
It's
nice
just
art,
them
so.
in the group together and they're just happy, you know. And I'm just happy to see Violet happy. She deserves the world.
Yes, and more.
She's such a good girl. It's the photo of them married. You haven't seen that one?
Oh wait, no, I don't think I want to see this. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god. Maybe it's just a fan art, honestly, but I'm happy either way that there are any arts like that.
Bless fan art then because they've given us what we want.
Thank you so
What we
much.
need.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
full. Gochisousama deshita.
お疲れ様.
I'm happy. That's all
my
I've ever
God.
wanted for them.
Finally, we got the closure. How long did it take for that movie to come out? My god. Oh my god.
That was so long. And for the longest time we were just like, and then I remember when I read the novel too. It was just like there's so many scenes. I don't know if you saw the picture of like them on a couch and then she's reading, I guess, her letters to him and he's like, and it's just so cute. It's just so wholesome.
Aww. This is all I want in life, man.
I know.
The small things. Oh, did you watch the Kokyu no Karasu?
No, I have not. I have to wait for a friend. I promise to watch it together.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
I know. The freaking ending you showed me, I was like, oh my god.
I was like not expecting to like it as much as I did. I had pretty low expectations to be honest, but
that's better. It's better that way.
I mean, it's not like a 10 right now at least, but it was much better than I expected, so I'm pretty happy.
Bro, the ending itself just gave me so many nostalgic flashback. I'm giving it. Just for the ending.
It kind of reminds me of Clamp. I don't know why, but like kind of
Clamp?
Like, yeah, it kind of gave me like the Tsubasa Chronicles like XXX holic vibes. I don't know, with like the art kind of. Maybe it's like because they're all very like long limb, kind of, you know, pretty.
I see.
Not the dude. I think just the girls. I don't know.
I think of there's a few like historical Chinese style anime back then. It reminds me one of those, or like the Senkyo something Monogatari, something like that, or like Trinity Blood, that kind of style of opening back then.
Well, I'm excited because I know like there's been a lot of more Chinese like manhwa and stuff that have been being adopted into like animes and stuff. So excited to see what they come out with because there have been some pretty not great ones, but you've been seeing some that are more of quality coming along lately too. Like what was it? Link Click came out. That was pretty good.
Link Click is really good. I
Mm.
always recommend it to people because there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm not too sure about Chinese anime or
Yeah,
Chinese like
which is
manhwa
fair.
because all of them are like literally just cartoony and chibi and jokes.
It's not
There's no
even
real
that.
plot.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just there's no real plot. There's no like basis. Things just kind of happen randomly
Yeah,
with no. And then, man, it's so sad because they're so long too, like hundreds of
they're
chapters.
so long, but each chapter's short. Is
Yeah,
what I've
but
noticed.
that's almost bad too because they still release them like every week a lot of times too. I don't know because like
Hmm.
I will literally just when I have to search for stuff, I take it off my search like because I got so tired of like getting baited by I'm like, oh, this art looks pretty decent, and I'll read pretty trashy stuff like
Bro,
pretty
that's the
bad.
worst. When they trick you with the art cover. I feel
Yeah.
like everything was fine if they didn't try to trick you. Like I remember there was some books at like Borders or Barnes and Nobles where they're completely wrapped up. I don't know if you've seen it, where the cover looks so beautiful, like gothic style, and
Mm.
inside is just like cartooning. Like complete 100% like American comic
No.
cartoon. But the cover looks so beautiful that but it's wrapped. So you
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
know.
I
You
know what you
just
mean by
buy
the
it and you're
wrapping.
like, what what the hell is
What did I
this?
spend my money on?
Mm-hmm.
What did I starve for? Save all my money, didn't eat the whole week just for this?
Yeah, and it's usually a bigger book and it's more expensive than a normal manga. So I was like,
Oh,
bro, why are they trying to dupe us for?
I'm sorry for your loss because capitalism, man. Capitalism.
Capitalism. Everything is capitalism.
No, that's a capital L for you.
I know. But you know what I think it is for the Chinese one? I don't think they use different artists. I know some of them do, but I think
Mm.
for some of them they do spend a lot of time just on the cover. And then as like, the series go on, they just like lose less and less
I mean,
detail
I
and
can see
coloring and
that.
stuff,
It's
you
true. I
know?
mean, even for like artists, like I know when I look for comms and stuff, I've noticed that like I'll look at the one they start with, like, oh, here's some samples of my work, and then I go to look at the rest of their work that they have like on their site or whatever, and it's like not the same quality. And I know that people get better over
Mm,
time and it's like practice, but like little bit baity, it's like, well, I was expecting this, but it wasn't what it was. But I mean, I hope they get better too. It's a work in
yeah,
progress. Practice makes
I hope so
perfect.
too.
Yeah. Did you watch man, I keep asking if you watch all these things because like I went on a binge and it was just like I need to catch up to all these
I need
animes.
to go on a binge, but
The
honestly, I have not.
busy adult life. The Mushikaburi Hime. I feel like you read it though.
I read it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I know when people are like talking, oh, episode is so satisfying too. Episode 2 is so satisfying. I'm like, yeah, but that was like my favorite part. But honestly, when I read
Wait, is
it,
second
I
episode
don't.
out?
Yeah,
I
it
haven't watched
is.
the second. I only watched the first. Okay, I gotta watch that then.
But I heard like the second episode is satisfying. It's
Oh,
like much more
good,
satisfying than the
good.
first episode. But I remember that was kind of for me when I read it back then. I was like, ooh, hyped, and then that was kind of the climax.
Hmm. Oh, that's
And
the
then
worst.
yeah, and then everything else to me is just kind of it's okay, it follows the normal shoujo formula, but it's not like anything like spectacular or like it you know what I mean? It's just like
Mm,
that major plot is just now stagnant.
yeah. I feel like that's the issue with a lot of like the same shojo trope where it's just like you get so bored of it because like they need to change things up. Like with me watching stuff, it's like there's so much stuff to watch now that if you don't do something different, there's only so much of it you can watch, even
Yeah.
if it's like quote unquote good stuff. Like one thing I'm really sad about actually is
What?
that, and I want to watch, but like I can just never get myself to watch it. Is Clanad when Clanad Apple Store, I guess.
It's the art, huh?
It's the art, and it's
Yeah, back
sad.
then it was good. Back then that was the art
Yeah,
that
and
was
what's
like
sad is when I was younger, I like loved and I watched like Air and Kana
yeah.
Canon Kana. I forget which one it
Hmm.
was. Yeah, and I was into those, but I never watched Clan. I don't know why, and that was like the one that I should have watched.
I know. I feel like it hits differently when you're younger too because I missed that one as well. And like but I remember it was like so iconic and the art style was like ideal back then. That was like all of the style like um for
My
anime.
my eyes have to be this big or it ain't right.
What was it? Was it like your eye had to be 3/4 of your face or
Yeah.
like something like that? Wait, kind of like us.
Yeah. No, no, no. It was bigger than this. Bigger than
Oh,
this.
I see. So it's like from our eyes to like our forehead, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty big.
That's
Pretty
funny.
cursed.
Oh my god. And then all of the memes because it's like cross-eyed and they're all like crazy looking.
Every time I think of that, it makes me think of Fruits Basket, where it was like
No,
the
it's not
Toru
as
ones.
bad. No, no, it's
No.
not as bad as Clannad
Are you
is like literally
sure?
an entire meme. Yeah.
No, Toru was like a meme because I remember like looking at it, especially when they did the remake and they compared it. I'm like, I don't remember Fruits Basket being this bad, but it was that bad. It was like me trying to draw bad, but better than that because at least it looked like a person. But it was like, remember when you were younger and you tried to draw like anime characters, but you didn't know anime art, so you were like, okay, the basic composition is like, let me try doing it. It's like a line on top, a line on bottom, the two sides of the eye. Okay, this is the one I did at least. And then you make a like an oval pupil, and then you just shade dark to light from the top to bottom, and that was like my anime eye. And I was like, wow, I am artiste. Oh shit, man. And I had like, I think the first one I tried to draw because I was like super in love with him was Kaito from Mermaid Melody.
Oh my gosh.
I was
So
so
funny.
into him, and I was like, I had a huge drawing. Man, I'm so embarrassed because I can't draw for shit, but I like had a huge attempted drawing, alleged drawing of him on my binder. Because like, do you remember those binders you had in like middle school?
Yes.
That had
Where
like
they have the clear where you
yeah,
can
yeah,
put
yeah,
your
and you could put your
paper
stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had like a big photo of I had drawn of him, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I could, his hair is like super spiky, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the spiky hair. And I'm like, it looks so bad, but I was like, wow, look at my art of this guy I'm really into. He was so
God, I
cool.
cannot believe it.
Surfer boy,
So,
man.
for me, I think I drew like a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho, like Kurama and Hiei back then,
Oh
because they were
damn.
like, yeah, they're my fave as I was like growing up. So
I say your taste is
that
still
was
pretty
my fave.
timeless. I think he is still there. Still got it.
Hiei is like edgy emo boy, dude. He was like
No.
the
Yes. Well, yes.
yes, but yes.
But yes. But no, who the real emo boy is?
Who?
DN Angel.
Oh my god, for sure.
I also
Like,
drew
what
him.
was the reason? Yeah.
I was
He
like,
was so iconic back then.
why did he was hot, and for what? For what? He
Yeah.
didn't even do anything. He was just
so
hot.
it was during the age of like J-Rock, when they had like the short sleeve and the emo hair. Yeah, you know exactly what
You
I'm
went
talking
from
about.
the nerdy red hair boy to like this hot ass. Like what?
Yeah.
Who told you to do this? Why?
Mhm.
I
So
was like,
it's funny. That's how.
gosh, I missed DN Angel. That was like my shit back then. Oh.
Mhm.
Damn, we've been going back to the dark ages.
Dark ages? You mean the golden ages
The
of our
golden
childhood?
ages.
You know what I'm
It's
curious
black and
about?
yellow, right? Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Black and yellow. I'm curious about how like the younger weebs will like talk about in the future, You know how like we have certain series that are super nostalgic
Yeah.
for us. I wonder if they'll have certain series that are like super nostalgic. Like maybe let me think what series came out. Oh, like they were like, oh, remember back then, like Chainsaw Man? Yeah, so good. Like changed the anime. Like
It's
that's what I
so
imagine.
weird to
Something
think
new
about
that
it
came
though.
out.
Cause like, okay, I don't know for you, but for me, I guess the culture was since we had so little access to it, right? You kind of didn't
Mhm.
watch things as they aired, unless I guess if they were on Toonami, you kind of saw episodes here and there. But like for full on series, when YouTube and stuff came out, the series were mostly already out, and you had like fan subbers, right, subbing it kind of all at once. So we were able to watch everything all at once. Versus now we have like simulcasting, right,
Mhm.
with Japan. So a lot of the series that are like new, I guess for them coming out now are like literally new, like, and they're coming out episode by episode. So it's not like, oh, I came to the series and I watched it all at once. So I wonder how that changes the culture of like the younger generations of like new anime fans, when you're younger.
Oh, I see. I can see that as well. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how it's going to develop for everyone. Because I feel like people go through like it's almost like like certain eras of their life for anime.
What do you mean?
Like for me, I had like a certain era where I was like super into like shoujo, or when I was super into like shonen, like there's certain
Mm.
era, and then you remember, like I remember there was this one specific season where it was like, I think Shitsuji, Code Geass. I think that was the golden age for
Oh
me.
my
Like Code
god.
Geass came out during that time. I watched Full Metal, and then also Hell Girl. So like all of that within the same time frame. To me, that was the era, a certain era that I always think back on. Versus like the Toonami era,
Mm.
versus like the
Mm.
manhwa era. There's
Mm.
always like certain ones.
I guess I don't know. I think it all kind of mixed for me. I guess aside from like I guess
Oh really?
yeah. Well, I guess I
It's
had like
all a blur when you think back at it.
I think the most I can think of is like when I watched it on TV versus watching it like on the internet when streaming became more of a thing. But other than that, it was all pretty mixed together. I guess because my era was like watching it on Toonami slash WB, like TV, to watching it
Mhm.
on the internet, and then I fell out of like anime and got into like K-pop,
Yeah.
and then I fell out of like K. Well,
Dramas and
yeah, I went to
K-pop.
dramas afterwards, but I guess that's still like Korean stuff, and then after that I fell out of it, and I no, well even before then, I guess before Korean, I was actually into like Taiwanese dramas,
Yeah.
and then
Did you watch the devil one? What is it? The
yes,
devil
Devil
beside
Beside
you?
You,
Oh
dude,
my god. Dude,
that was my
everyone watched that
favorite.
one.
That was my
Dude, that
favorite.
that was my first intro to like
With like Mike He
dramas.
or something, yeah, and Rainy Yang, dude, the song in that was such a banger, and all her,
It's still a banger,
yeah,
okay?
the
It's
Chonan
the
Run or
best.
something.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
jerk.
ambiguous or something like that.
That was I made, dude, that was like the first Chinese song I attempted to learn. I remember asking my friend what it meant because I was like, what does I
Hmm.
mean? Because like I had no idea, and they were like, it means you like little girls, and I was like, no, it definitely doesn't mean that.
No,
Like,
that's not right. I
no,
know what they're talking about, but
yeah.
that's not right.
Yeah, like I understand now, but back then, and I didn't know about tones or anything like that, right? So I just was saying like I made. I was like, oh my god, that's definitely not what it meant. There's no way. Years later, I understand.
Well, it's important that you learn now.
Yeah,
And then I remember after that, I watched Hanayori Dango,
there was also
Hanakimi,
uh
uh, Nobuta no will
that
produce
was the
so
first
many.
Japanese drama I watched.
Which
Nobuta,
one?
Nobuta.
Nobuta, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it for Kame and Yamapi.
Oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
Yamipi was my first 3D crush.
Oh my
What
gosh.
was yours?
I think it was Kame. Well, not I don't
Oh,
know
really?
3D because 3 goes maybe farther than that, but for I think for
No, Yamapi was
J.
the first like 3D crush that I was like obsessed over. I had like all of his photo books and like all of these crazy things. I just don't know why. It's
I
just something
remember
with
I was into
Yamapi.
Kame and I think I was into Yamapi after. Kong Kong.
Kong Kong. Oh my
Kong Kong.
god, that's so nostalgic. I can't believe we watched the same series.
Yeah, and then I memorized that song.
Is
And I
this why
remember the
it was so
dance.
similar?
The
Oh
the
yeah.
see
Yeah,
tachi wa
yeah.
itsuremo.
Senorita.
Itorite. No, then Daite Senorita with Kurosagi and Yamapi.
Oh, you're right.
Daite Senorita tsuyoku
Oh, you're
tsuyoku
so
tsuyoku
right. Now I have to go
hanasanai.
rewatch it.
Anata wa. Yeah. Man, I
Oh
don't
my
know now
god.
because Japanese dramas honestly haven't really improved in like the past decade though.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just like, can they get someone to like do lighting, please? Like, why is everything so flat? Like,
It's not the lighting. It's the story, the acting. Like they're
yeah.
just not putting in effort. I feel like they just basically put, okay, who is a popular like actor or model right now? Okay, let's
Mm.
just put them in a drama and try to milk money. It's just like that. There's no like real artistry when it comes to it.
But I mean, K dramas do that too, but they're still
But K-dramas
interesting.
have story. They
Yeah.
work on the story and like building the character.
Well, I
Like there's
mean,
a lot that we can relate to.
okay, but
That's
the
why it's
thing
so
is, like,
popular.
a lot of the K dramas, even then, are like based off of like mangas. Like Hanayori Dango,
I guess you're right.
in
Yeah.
that the big
Mhm.
was it like F4 and all that. K drama did better than I'd say the J drama did. It's the
No, but
same
I think there's
story,
a
or
lot of
even Taiwanese
original
one.
stories too for
Yeah,
K-drama, whereas the original stories for J-drama is not as good. There's always has to be based off something.
but that's what I'm saying. Like even the ones with like the same story, like the
Hmm.
Korean version was, I'd say, the best one versus like the Japanese one was still pretty dry. Even though they had the banger song was a Flavor of Life.
Oh my
Utari Hikaru?
gosh. Utada. So good. I remember like crying all the time. And then also I Otsuka, right? The
Oh yeah,
planetarium.
the planetarium. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, that was so good
See, they
too.
have good shit, and then it's just like, why? You have the potential,
Actually,
please.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I think during that time it was good for what it was. It's just Korea made it better. Does that make sense? Like it was
Yeah,
good for its time.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the Japanese dramas haven't gotten any better, whereas every other like culture's drama or like Asian dramas have. And I'm just like,
I've
please.
noticed recently Taiwanese is coming back up too.
Is Taiwanese? I've noticed that mainland has come out because I remember mainland dramas used to be really, I don't want to say bad, but they were like few, and a lot of them were the very traditional, really badly dubbed, like the kind of like super mainland. They didn't really have a lot of dramas, I guess, that were available to the public. I don't know exactly why,
Mm,
but it was like a lot more. The reason I watched a lot of Taiwanese is because that's what was available.
that's true.
Mainland
Okay.
didn't have a lot, but now mainland's been coming out with a lot, like with the Untamed and
Mm-hmm. They finally know there's a market. They finally know we exist. We finally count for something.
I mean, I think they've known there is a market. It's just that China doesn't really have to care about the market because there's so many people, and like I feel like the thought process is very similar over there. So like, what they get is what they get. Like, what's popular is popular, you know.
I
The
guess so. Everyone will watch whatever is
Yeah,
available.
yeah,
I see.
and that's kind of what they're given. That's all they have to watch because of the Great Firewall too. It's kind of
Okay.
streamlines thing one way. But damn, yes, that was what was that? So it was
That
like the
was like
dramas.
that was like a blast to the past. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But then
I
we
hope
came
you
full
guys
circle.
enjoy
Well, one
our
second.
little rambles and our little like blast of the past. I don't know, maybe there's some people out there who also went down the same pipeline as us because I think that's why we get along. We literally
Yeah.
went through the same pipeline.
Well,
I've
is it
never
even
met
a
other
pipeline?
people.
It's like we came full
It's a
circle because we're back
pipeline.
at anime now.
No, because it's so true. It's like I've never met people who like went exactly devil is beside you, Nobuta will
Yeah.
produce, honey your dog. You're like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
exactly down that pipeline
yeah.
into Yamabi. We're
Yeah.
literally the same person. Do you realize that?
We are one. Two halves of
We
the
are
same
one.
brain cell.
We're only one brain cell together. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and our little rambling. We'll probably be back more with more. And if you have any comments or anything what we talked about today, especially some of the questions that we had. I think we were asking about why
Yes.
ugly bastard, right?
Yeah, like why?
Why does
Then
that
let
genre
us know.
exist? Please let us know. We would love to like understand other perspectives. And we'll see you again next week with next week's episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. My name is Kane,
And I myself.
and we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Rah.